Hey Sarah, are you there? I just wanted to talk about the lunch you packed for me today. Don't you think it's a little, well, awful?
Wait, what? You think the lunch that I packed for you was awful? How so? What didn't you like about it? Was something rotten or just really bad tasting or something?
No, not really anything like that, really. I was just thinking that you used an awful lot of frozen things, didn't you?
Oh, did I really? I guess I wasn't aware that I was doing that. And you're telling me that you don't want me to put frozen foods in your lunch from now on?
Well, it's not that, but this whole meal is basically entirely made up of stuff from the freezer, don't you think? I just wish that you would have put a little more thought and care into what you were serving me is all.
Well, I'm really sorry you don't like your lunch, Chuck. But I just didn't really have time to make anything else. I mean, you know that I started working today, and so I just don't have time in the mornings like I used to.
I get that. But if this is what you're going to be packing me from now on, I think you had better make some time. I mean, do you really need so much time in the morning to get ready for work? Is it really that big of a deal?
Well, it was only my first day today, so I wanted to make sure that I had time to look nice and show up at the office a little early. I mean, I want my new coworkers and boss to think that I'm a good employee who is motivated about this job.
I guess, but I mean, they've already hired you, right? So it's not like they're going to be firing you anytime soon unless you make some huge mistake. Besides, you were already doing the same job part-time before they gave you a promotion to full-time. Are you sure you're not just being a bit overdramatic with all of this?
Look, I just really like my company, and I think they are really earnest about their message. I mean, the person who started the company, my current boss, used to be a working housewife as well. She wanted to start the company to help women get into the workforce and create a career path that takes into account what it means to be a woman and wife. I really respect my boss and the company. You know that.
Well, look, all I'm asking is that you don't get all caught up in this new position of yours, okay? I mean, this lunch is already giving me enough reason to worry. I don't want you slacking on anything else. And just know that if having a full-time job like me ever gets too difficult for you, you can always quit and go back to being a full-time housewife again.
Chuck, what has gotten into you? What is this conversation even about, huh? I mean, are you really so opposed to me having a job? I thought you said you wouldn't mind if we both worked.
Of course you can work. I never said that you wouldn't be allowed to work or anything like that. I'm just saying that before your job, you should be caring about your family and making sure they're taken care of first, right? Besides, you're getting old, and I'm wondering how you're going to be concentrating on the family and your job. I mean, just how long are you going to make this job the center of your life?
Chuck, I can assure you now that my job is not going to take over my life. In fact, my job is very encouraging of mothers and expecting mothers, if you must know. Besides, this way we can save up more for when we retire. You care about that, don't you? What if Jake wants to go to college out of state or something? You know how expensive that's going to be.
Right. Well, I guess we do need to put aside some money for the children, but I think that you really ought to be worrying about my lunch before anything.
Chuck, I am not a personal chef or anything like that, okay? I do worry about making sure that your needs are being taken care of. But the fact of the matter is that I just have less time now. It's not a measure of how much I care, okay?
Well, either way, it doesn't change the fact that you're still trading my quality of life for your ability to work.
I'm sorry, but I think that you should be just a little more grateful about the fact that I have been making your lunch every day now. If you really don't like what you're eating for lunch now, however, then I guess I can just give you a bit of money to buy your own lunch.
So you're really just going to stop making lunches for me entirely then? Wow. I just really can't believe that that's how bad things have gotten for us.
I'm sorry, but I really don't think that you have much room to complain. I've explained to you the situation and offered an alternative. Besides, our son has no problem at all with what I pack him. He has never told me that my lunches are nasty. You're the only one who ever complains about the things that I do and how I do them.
Oh, please. You're really going to try and compare me to a child? He'd eat anything you put in front of him. How can you be serious about that?
Well, it works fine for me. I mean, if you really have something to complain about, then why don't you try cooking your own lunch?
Why are you acting like this is such a big deal? I'm not complaining. I'm just voicing my opinion, that's all. Of course I'm thankful that you make lunches for me. I was just saying that I thought there were quite a few frozen foods in here.
Oh, really? Because I don't think I've heard you say once that you're thankful for what I do. And you never ever complimented my lunches either, even before I started this job.
Right, well, what did you have in mind for us for dinner tonight?
I was going to bake some chicken and serve it with rice and some vegetables. Does that suit your need?
Well, if I'm being honest with you, it sounds like another lazy meal, really.
Are you kidding me? What about that is lazy? How is that not enough for you? It's a protein, a grain, and vegetables. That's a whole meal.
Right, but I mean, you're just going to put the rice, vegetables, and chicken next to each other on a plate and just serve it to me like that, right? Besides, you said that you were going to bake the chicken? So basically, you're not even really cooking anything. You're just making the oven do all the work.
What on earth are you talking about? How do you think cooking is done? Am I not cooking for use fire that comes from the gas stove?
I think that you're just purposely not trying to see my point. All I'm saying is that I wish you would put a little more care into the food that you make for me.
And I am telling you that we are both working now and am asking you for some patience and understanding. Did you really think that nothing was going to change at all now that we're both working? I mean, this is my first day at work and you're already complaining so much. You know that I'm going to come home tired and full of new information today, right?
Okay, geez, I'm sorry. I wouldn't have said anything if I knew you were going to make such a big deal about all of this. I guess I just thought that you could handle the responsibility without sacrificing everything that I had gotten used to before you were working.
Are you kidding me right now, Chuck? We literally talked about this before I started this job. I told you that I wouldn't be able to do all of the chores around the house like I used to. You told me that you would be there to help me out if I needed it. We agreed that we would split most of the work. I thought that you were ready for this.
I know, but Well, I thought that I wouldn't have to do anything. That's why I agreed to it. Besides, you get home before I even do. I don't see why you can't just get things done before I get home.
I really hope that you're not serious about that, Chuck. Are you really going to try and tell me that you didn't mean any of what you said? I don't mind doing something like cooking before you come home to make sure that we all have dinner. But I'm not going to be able to clean the house and do the laundry beforehand. I need your help for that.
But that isn't fair. I don't get why I should have to do that work just because you couldn't get it done on time.
That is not what I am even talking about. It can be so infuriating even trying to discuss this with you. But anyways, my lunch break is almost over and I have some training documents that I need to look over before the break ends. I have to get back to work now. We'll talk about this later.
You can't just walk away from this conversation. We still have to figure out who's going to do the laundry. I'm telling you now that if you won't be able to handle a joke like this, just ask for part-time.
Hey, Chuck, are you there? We need to talk, like, right now. I thought I asked you to hang up the laundry. So why isn't it up yet, and why have you already left the house?
Wait, what? What do you mean? Did you really tell me to do that? I'm not so sure about that.
Well, I am. I asked you to do it. I know that I did.
Are you really sure about that? I don't remember you asking me anything like that whatsoever, really. But anyways, I've already left the house, so I don't really see the point of this conversation when you could just be doing it.
You didn't do anything around the house at all that I asked you to do. What is the matter with you, Chuck?
Well, I don't know what you want me to do about it. It isn't my fault. I mean, even if you did ask me, I just forgot, okay? I mean, are you really going to blame me for that? Besides, today's our day off and you're back home already now, right? So I just don't get why you just can't do it.
Oh, I am going to do it because we need to have dry laundry to put on. But you get that this is bigger than the laundry, right? I thought I told you that I needed more help with chores around the house. You told me that you were going to do it. I was counting on you doing it.
But you're home right now. Why can't you just do it? But come on. You know you're better at that stuff than me.
How can you say that when Jake is a literal child and he still does a much better job helping me than you do? I mean, he even went out to do some of the grocery shopping for me and even helped me cook dinner, too.
Well, he's just a student. He's got nothing but time on his hands anyways. In fact, you know what? If Jake is so much better than me, you can just count on him for everything. After all, when he's in college, he'll be living on his own. so it'd be good for him to learn these things.
That's honestly not a bad idea, given how much more useful Jack is around the house than you are. Did you know that I don't even have to pack lunches for him anymore?
And just what are you trying to get at with that little comment, huh?
Well, do you remember the day that you went out golfing? Jack stayed home all day and helped me clean the house then. And just what do you think we're going to do when I'm too old to take care of the house by myself, huh?
Well, we'll just get Jack's wife to do all the cooking and cleaning for us then, of course.
Do you even think before you send these messages, Chuck? Why are you always trying to get someone else to do your work for you? I mean, I work and do my best to take care of the house, and you still won't try to help out at all.
Here we go again. I knew that you should have just stuck with that part-time job in the first place.
Well, I'm happy that I'm working full-time, thank you very much. And just why don't you want me working anyways?
Already told you. Now you're concentrating way too much on your job and letting this house fall apart.
Do you really think that our house is anywhere near falling apart, Chuck? Because if you do, then the only person you can blame is the one not hauling their own weight around here. You!
But, I mean, you two are so much better than me.
And be that as it may, I have explained to you now that I'm working, I just don't have time to do all that work now. So, if you want something done around the house, then you can do it.
No, I won't do them. You were going to do them for me. Now you have some free time, so you can do all the chores. Besides, if I do them, you're just going to have to do them again anyways.
Are you really so against just doing a little bit of work around the house to help out your wife and son?
I don't even know how to use the vacuum cleaner. You expect me to be doing things like the laundry?
Are you kidding me with that? I really don't believe that you don't even know how to use the vacuum. But I've offered to show you how to do everything that you'll need to know.
Even if you have time to teach me all of that, then you might as well just do all of the work yourself. It would just be faster that way, don't you think?
I really don't even know what to say to you anymore. But I've just about had enough out of you, and I'm going to get back to cleaning the house.
Well, that's what you should have been doing this whole time anyways. And since you have so much time on your hands anyway, why don't you make something good for dinner too? And by that I mean, put some actual effort into it, okay? If you don't, I'll make you cook it all over again. If you want to keep your full-time job, you'll do as I say and keep the house clean, got it? And if you can't do that, then I will force you to go back to working part-time. Hey, Sarah, where are you? Have you still not gotten home from work yet? I can't find Jack anywhere either. Where are the two of you? What's going on here?
Jack is at the library studying right now, Chuck. And I told you this morning that I was going to have an appointment at the beauty salon, so that's where I am now. I shouldn't be much longer before I'm on my way home.
Wait, what? Why are you wasting money going to some beauty salon? What is the matter with you?
What is the matter with me? What are you talking about? Why are you reacting like this? What's wrong with me going there? I'm getting my roots touched up and getting a little haircut. Is that really so bad?
But why can't you do all that at home? Why do you have to waste our money paying someone else to do that for you?
Because I work full-time and meet with clients for a living. I want to make sure that I look presentable for all of that. If you really are trying to tell me that I'm not even allowed to maintain my own appearance, then I don't even know what to say.
I just would like to know why you think that you have to look good for anyone who isn't your husband. I mean, just where are you going around with that new haircut, huh? Also, the house is looking horrible. Did you two do any cleaning at all today? I'm going to be going out drinking, and the house better be clean by the time I get back tonight. Do I make myself clear?
Did you really just send that message? Just who in the world do you think you are, huh?
What do you mean, who do you think I am? I think that I'm your husband, and what I say goes, got it? Now you're going to get back here and clean up the house like I am ordering you to. And after that, you and I are going to talk about having you quit your job and getting my mom involved and training you how to be a good wife. I know that if my mom could see the way that you take care of our house, that she would be appalled at you.
Are you sure about that? Because the one who helped clean the house today was your mom, actually. And here I thought that she did a really good job, actually. I guess I should call her and let her know that you weren't happy at all with how she did it, though. I'll tell her you want her to come back and do it all again.
Wait. What do you mean it was my mom who was doing all the cleaning? You mean she came over and helped sort the house out?
That's right. I talked to her and told her about how you were never happy with the way that I cleaned the house. So she offered to come over and clean. She came around the afternoon, but surely you're not telling me that you're not happy with the job. Your mom did, right?
Well, Actually, you know what? Now that you mention it, things do look pretty clean. I guess maybe it was just bad lighting. It is late and all. Maybe my eyes were tired or something. I don't know.
No, you clearly hate the job she did. So I'll tell her to come back and do it all over again.
Please don't do that. I'm sorry, okay? I shouldn't have said that.
No, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have treated me all the way that you have been the last few weeks because I am sick of it. You said that you would have no problem with me working, and now all you do is try and control my life, and I am sick of it! I'm going to come home after my hair is done, pack up my bags, and leave you.
Sarah, please. It's been a whole week. When are you going to come back?
Why would I ever do that, huh?
Well, my mom told me all about what I was doing wrong. My mom told me all about how hard it is to keep a house clean, especially when you have to worry about working.
So you're telling me that she told you what I had been going through?
That's right. I had no idea about just how difficult all of it was. I swear. Had I known, I never would have acted that way.
Well, you certainly weren't making it any easier with how insulting you were being towards me, you know?
I know, but you aren't really going to divorce me, are you? I mean, we're both way too old for that. And we still have our son to worry about.
Oh, please. You would have it so that I was never working and always having to be reliant on you for money. Except for the fact that you and I both know that you don't even make enough money to take care of all of us.
But I'll do something about the money, okay? I can find a second job.
Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that your mom talked about how difficult it is to keep a house running? And all you can think of is that you'll earn more money so that you can force me back into the home? Why can't you just help me clean the house?
Because I hate doing chores. I hate doing them so much. So please, won't you quit your job, move back in, and just clean the house like you always used to do?
I can't believe that you're really asking me to do this. This is honestly just pathetic, Chuck. Are you really so scared of cooking for yourself?
But I hate cooking most of all. I really have no idea how to do it, and everything I make tastes awful. Please, Sarah, I need you. Can't you see that?
Oh, I know very well that you need me. But the fact is that I also know that I don't need you. Goodbye, Chuck. I hope that at the very least this teaches you to take care of yourself. After that, I sent movers to collect the rest of my things from the house, and I served Chuck with divorce papers. He was forced to move into a much smaller apartment that he could afford, and quickly had to learn how to fend for himself. The last time I heard any news about him, it was because he had set his apartment on fire trying to cook something. He had forgotten to put the water in his instant noodles, and they caught fire in the microwave. As for Jack and I am still working full-time and providing for both of us. Jack understands that without his dad around and me working more, that he needs to do more around the house for the both of us. Jack still keeps in touch with his father, however, and has even been spending some of his free time going over to his house and trying to teach him to cook and clean. I don't know where that boy got his patience from, but his father is all the luckier for it.
Hey there, Marie. I heard that you and my brother finally found a place where you both want to move into. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess you've already heard the big news then. But Randy and I were going to be moving into our new house next month. Isn't that exciting? We hope that you and all your family can come and visit us there as soon as we have everything unpacked and cleaned up.
Oh, we'd just love to do that, but I heard that your new house is going to be pretty far from Randy's work. Is that true?
Yeah, it is going to be just a little far for Randy, unfortunately. But it's just such a good house that neither of us were considering not snatching it up when we saw it. It's only a few years old and also seems perfect for us since we have pets.
I see. Well, I really am glad that you two are so pleased with what you found then. That's great news. I guess that means that you didn't like the houses that I sent over as suggestions when you were still looking?
Well, Randy was the one who was looking into the houses that you sent. But then he started looking into the neighborhoods they were located in, and they didn't seem so great. And I guess I'm just a bit of a scaredy cat, so I asked that we live somewhere else. But thank you so much for wanting to help us with our search. It really did mean a lot that you wanted to give us a hand.
No, I am so sorry that I didn't do better research and just sent you what I thought looked nice and in your price range. I didn't bother to do any further reading about the neighborhoods or schools or anything like that.
Well, it really isn't a problem at all now that we found the new house that we're going to live in. I'm just so happy that the search is finally over and we found the place that we want to live.
Speaking of, I guess this means that you two are going to have to really start nailing down those wedding plans then, right? I heard through the grapevine that you were having some trouble finding a venue for the wedding, though.
Yeah, we were having a bit of trouble, but we finally managed to find a spot and put in reservations.
Oh, really? So then you two did end up finding a spot to have your wedding as well?
Well, you remember that one spot that I was talking to you about the last time that we met up, don't you?
I remember you telling me that more than any other place in the world, you wanted to get married there.
Exactly, that place.
But you also told me that it was really, really popular and might be impossible to ever get a reservation in on time.
I know, and I really did think that it was going to be too difficult to do that. But I just didn't give up. I called them a couple times a week to ask about any cancellations, and then finally a space opened up.
So then you basically just kept hounding them until there was an availability?
I mean, basically. But you have to be persistent if you want a reservation at this place. So, one day, I called them and they said there were some open dates right around when we were wanting to get married. So I booked a day right away.
Wow, well, good for you. It sounds like things are really starting to come together for you and Randy then, aren't they?
I sure hope so. I mean, these all seem like good signs to me. But man, it has been so difficult trying to nail everything down. I mean, it's been a while since I felt like I was fighting this hard for bookings and open houses and all these stuff.
I see. Well, you know that you can always ask me for a little help if you need it. I'm more than willing to give a hand if you need it.
Thank you so much. I mean, you really don't know how much it means to have someone that I can talk to about all of this. And since you offered, I really just might end up taking you up on that. I really am glad that I have such a great sister-in-law like you that I can always count on. Thanks again for everything.
Oh, don't make me blush. You know that I'm just happy to be there for you when you need me. Just let me know if there's anything else you might need. By the way, does that mean that you've officially booked and paid for the wedding venue? I assume so, since you were so set on getting a date there.
I'm actually going to call them in a week to try and finalize everything. I didn't have all the money I would need to make the booking when I made the reservation a week ago.
I see. Well, yeah, that sounds like you still might have a lot on your plate for the time being, then. Maybe best to get back home and think all of this through so it all goes along smoothly. I had one friend who just kind of rushed their wedding plans without stepping back to think about the wider picture and the larger plan, and they ended up with a very expensive ceremony that they were only okay with.
Oh, I see. Well, that is a good point then. I don't want to dig myself into a hole that I won't be able to get out of. You're right. I guess there is still quite a bit that I need to think about. But I'm really glad that you came to me so that I could talk to you about all of this.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I know that there are probably a million things going on inside of your head right now, so it can be hard to keep everything straight. But for now, you've gotten your dream wedding venue booked, and that's a huge check on your to-do list. By the way, is it really true that your wedding day is the same day you and Randy had your first date?
Yes, it is true. But that isn't actually why we chose to go with that date. It just so happened that our schedules happened to match up around that time of year, and then that day happened to be free.
I see, but then again, it would be kind of hard not to go with a date like that, right? I mean, it's just too perfect if you ask me.
I mean, you're very right there. I'd be lying if I said that we didn't know what we were doing at all.
That's great. Well, anyways, my boss is calling me into his office right now, so I think I have to go.
Oh, yes, I guess lunch is almost over, isn't it? I guess I should probably start getting things ready as well.
Of course. So sorry for taking up your lunch break talking about this.
It was no bother at all. I really enjoyed catching up with you and getting to talk about all of this. Thank you for listening and for offering so much helpful advice.
It's my pleasure. I guess we'll talk later then. Have a good day.
Hey, Hilda, are you there? Do you have a second to talk? I was just wondering if I could talk to you about something really quick.
Yeah, sure. What's up? Did you have another wedding question or something?
Well, the thing is that my reservation at that venue I was talking to you about got canceled.
Oh, really? You mean you got a call from there saying that your reservation was gone or something?
Hilda, I'm going to ask you straight, so please don't play dumb with me. Were you the one who canceled it?
What? What do you mean by that? I'm sure I have no idea at all what you're talking about. How could you just accuse me of something like that? It doesn't make any sense. I'm shocked that you would even say something like that.
I think the one who is most shocked here is me. I mean, how could you do this to me? When I called them and they said the reservations had been canceled, I asked what phone number they got a call from to do that. And they gave me your phone number, Hilda.
Wait, what? The staff members actually gave you my phone number? What is the matter with them? Don't they know anything about privacy laws? They can't just hand out my personal information like that.
Well, I asked them to help me confirm how many reservations were canceled without my knowing. They gave me your number because it was attached to my file that they had on hand. Thankfully, I won't have to pay any kind of cancellation fee for what you've done. But I can't believe that you would do this to me.
But what other choice did I have? I can't just have you marrying my brother, you know.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I don't get it.
I mean that you really think you're good enough to be with someone as cool and smart and handsome as Randy? You're just a fat, ugly nobody. You were never ever going to be accepted into this family. I guess you haven't figured this out yet, but Randy basically only dates fat, ugly girls like you to make himself feel better.
No, that can't be right. You're lying to me.
You really think that me, his sister, who has seen every girl Randy has brought home, is lying to you about this? No, it's the truth. You never stood a chance of actually joining our family, so you might as well just cancel your engagement with Randy right now.
But I can't do that.
So you mean to tell me that even though you know your fiancé's sister is against your marriage, you're still going to try and go through with it? You really are a troublesome woman, do you know that? Honestly, I would be impressed if it wasn't so obnoxious.
You know, I've always felt that way. Like I wasn't good enough to be with Randy. I never could see what he saw in me. But the fact of that matter is that I want to marry him and he wants to marry me, and that's all that matters.
Of course that's not all that matters. I won't let you two get married. You'll see.
What do you mean? How on earth do you think you're going to stop us from getting married?
Because I'll stop at nothing to make sure that your wedding doesn't happen. It isn't fair. You don't deserve to be happy, and you don't deserve to be in my family. So you can count me out of your wedding. Do you understand? And just how do you think Randy is going to act when he learns that his own sister isn't going to be at his wedding?
Well, I think that you would really upset him if you did that, actually.
That's kind of the whole point, Marie. I am going to show my brother that a woman like you is just going to make him sad. And then every day, he'll start to love you less and less, until your marriage is nothing but a sham. And then he'll have hopefully realized what a mistake he's made being with you, and then he'll finally leave your fat ass.
I don't get it. Is all this hate for me really just because I'm a heavier person? I mean, do you just want me to lose weight?
It doesn't matter if you lose weight now, you'll still be a fat person at heart. Nothing you ever do will overcome that.
Hilda, that is a really awful way to view people, I think. But I'm afraid that it isn't going to change the way that I feel about your brother. Anyways, I'm going to tell Randy about what you did to our wedding plans.
Fine, go ahead and tell him. See if I care. I'm going to go and tell him that your wedding is off. I'm going to ask him to leave you and find someone better and more well-suited to him. After all, I have plenty of friends that he can pick from.
And do you really think that your brother is just going to go along with all of that?
I think that I'll show my brother the tier of woman he can get with if he wants. And once he realizes how horrible you are in comparison, he'll surely choose to marry someone else. So I wouldn't hold your breath on this wedding happening.
Hilda, are you there? We have seriously got to talk. What is the matter with you? Why would you just send trash to my workplace? That was you again, wasn't it?
What are you talking about this time? Why are you always trying to blame me for all the problems going on in your life?
Are you telling me that this really wasn't you? Because I am seriously thinking of reporting this to the police and they will find out who sent it.
Okay then, go report your little trash problem to the police. Don't waste my time like you're doing now, though.
Now, Hilda, I understand that for whatever reason you really don't seem to like me. But you can't go taking out this weird grudge of yours while I'm at work, okay? It's just unacceptable.
No, you know what's unacceptable? Just how unbearable having to deal with you is. Why won't you just leave my brother already? I mean, I heard that you two are legally married now. Did my opposition mean nothing to you? I told you that you two weren't allowed to get married.
And I thought I told you that was something between Randy and I. You don't have a say in whether or not we get married, do you understand? And nothing you say now is going to change anything.
Well, you two better not have your actual wedding, or else there is going to be serious hell to pay. I will make sure that the whole thing comes crashing down around you.
I don't get it, Hilda. I thought that you and I were getting along so well. I really don't know what I did to make you dislike me, but I just wish that we could be adults and talk this out.
Talk this out? I don't ever want to see your face again, let alone talk anything out. I mean, how dare you get married to my brother? No, you and I are never ever going to see each other again.
Are you really sure you want to leave things like this? I mean, I'm sure that Randy would love to talk to you about this as well. I think he's starting to get really confused and upset with you. Don't you at least want to explain yourself to your brother? I mean, I know how close the two of you are and I don't want to ruin that.
Oh, please. If you didn't want to ruin it, then you should have stayed away from him in the first place. Just your existence is ruining what he had together. I knew my brother before you even knew he existed. And yet now you think you can just barge in, marry him, and pretend like it's nothing.
Hilda, is that how you really feel about all of this? Then I really just don't know what to say. But I want you to know that your brother makes me very happy, and I make him happy, and I'm not sure what about that makes you so unhappy.
I don't even care what the two of you do anymore. Just know that I am not going to let you get away with this. And I just want you to know that you're going to look hideous in your wedding dress, and everyone is going to talk about how horrible you look and what an awful couple you are. So enjoy your wedding when everyone is talking behind your back. Hey there, Marie. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry about what happened to your wedding.
Hey, Hilda, sorry. What do you mean by that exactly?
I just mean about your wedding ceremony, you know? I know that my brother said that the whole thing was off, right? But you know that my brother isn't even upset about it? He said that if I wasn't going to be at the wedding, then it wasn't one that he should be having. So I guess that means that you've been officially dumped and left all on your own.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure he just told you that so you would keep quiet and stay out of our way. But we've already had our wedding.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Randy told me yesterday that nothing was going to happen. What do you mean that your wedding already happened?
I mean that it literally just happened. We just wrapped it up right now. Randy figured that you would trust whatever he told you, so he came up with that lie so that you wouldn't interfere with us.
But I don't understand. This isn't making any sense to me. How could this be?
Well, it happened because I told him all about how you canceled our wedding venue reservations and kept threatening to do even more if the two of us got married.
So then, you two really already got married? And you did it today? That still doesn't make sense, though. I mean, our parents left to go abroad just a few days ago. Are you telling me that they weren't there either?
No, the wedding was in Italy and your parents are here with us.
But you mean you all went to go to your wedding in Italy and you left me here all alone?
Yep. Not just your parents, though. Plenty of your relatives and mine showed up to help Randy and I celebrate. Of course, I am still upset that we couldn't get the original venue that we wanted, but I'm not about to complain about what we ended up with.
No, this can't be happening. I mean, I thought you had given up on the wedding. I didn't even hear that you made a second reservation for another venue, but Now you're telling me it's because you made your plans in Italy?
Yeah. It was a bit last minute, I will admit. And even though I saw so many of our relatives were there, that was basically it. It was a very small ceremony, and there couldn't have been more than a couple dozen people.
So then you two went through with it, and everyone knows about it? Randy, Mom, and Dad all lied to me about the wedding and then left without saying a word to me about it?
That's right. We were all really thinking hard about what to do with you. Then your mom told us about how you went through her phone. Something that you do a lot, I guess? To find out when our wedding was going to be happening. So that's when we realized that he just had to keep our plans absolutely secret. And that's when Randy suggested getting married overseas. So we left no traces of texts and did all of our planning and coordination over the phone.
So you all tricked me. You all went this far just to keep me from knowing about the wedding. I thought we were all family here. This wasn't supposed to happen like this. How could you all do this to me?
I asked you to accept that Randy and I were getting married over and over again. But all you did was return that with threats that you would do something to ruin our wedding. You put me into the position where I felt like I couldn't do anything but lie to you. And all your family agreed that it was the best way to keep you from doing anything that would completely embarrass your brother and I. If you don't like what's happened, I'm afraid that you have no one to blame but yourself.
But I don't get it. Randy told me that you two weren't getting married. My own brother lied to me. I've tried texting him, but he isn't reading any of my messages now.
Well, that's probably because him and your parents have all decided to block you while we're here. We just wanted nothing to do with you after all that you've been putting me through. And quite frankly, I'm really not sure if they're going to want to do anything with you when we get back. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have my honeymoon to enjoy. After her parents got back from Italy, they talked to Hilda and told her that they were cutting her out of their lives and never wanted to see her again. They also promised Randy and I not to ever tell Hilda a word about us ever again. We even had to find a new house to move into since Hilda found out where we were planning on going. Although that was a search that I started as soon as I learned that Hilda canceled my wedding venue reservations. As for Hilda, she fell into a deep depression after her family basically all turned their backs on her. I guess she just couldn't bring herself to understand why this was her fault. I can only hope for her sake, though, that one day she realizes the mistake she made. And maybe by the time she does that, all of us will finally be ready to let her back into our lives. Thank you for watching! If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.